iHeartRadio. Now let's get to the NBA and some talk between NBA greats, past and present. Most notably, the one and only Ant-Man himself, Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Hall of Famer Earvin Magic Johnson. Edwards was recently asked by the Wall Street Journal how his generation of basketball players compared to the ones that came before him. Look at this quote right here. Edwards replied by saying, quote, "I didn't watch it back in the day, so I can't speak on it," Edwards said. "They say it was tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe Bryant, they were like, oh my God. But now everybody has skill," end quote. As for Magic Johnson, I recently sat down with him and asked him about Anthony Edwards' comments last week in Las Vegas. Here's what the Magic Man himself had to say. Take a listen.
Any skilled players in the NBA back in the day outside of Michael Jordan? That's what he said. Your response to that, Earvin Magic Johnson?
Well, you know, I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. It's not nothing to really say. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship.
Damn.
You ain't watching the games, Lord. You ain't watching the games, Lord. You ain't going back watching the games, Lord.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. If I'm being 100, and this is to everybody in our league, Tatum, all y'all. Let me tell y'all something, bro. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
No.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back, and then if you shot that shit, it had to go in. You know why? Because we had efficiency back in the day. What? The league had to come off of it for the flow of movement to be able to have scoring go up, which is why we like to sit here and watch kind of the rat race of the high-paced game, right? But, bro, let's not talk about the gamemanship, and let's not talk about the physicality of the game back then. Real shit, because I only think half these kids in the league could have been on an NBA team 20 years ago.
Straight up.
The locker room was too too grown.
You know what I watched too? You know what I watched?
It was two of them. It was too much of a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man.
Just
like
the handshake.
No, bro. It was a different vibration. David Stern did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game. You understand? Freedom of movement means freedom of movement. Man, back in the day when you had to get by Paul because Paul was squared up with you and ready to slide, and then he could body you, he could poke, he could use his hands, but I can use my hands.
I can fight through a screen.
Bro, the shit that we saw in the Olympics was similar style play when the guard can ride you damn near over the pick.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to get out of that, and a nigga like Holiday, when he come out and he get over, he there. Right. So if you go to cross him, bro, you don't even, that's what I'm saying, bro. Man, the levels in which you had to be not only strong enough, but skilled enough to get by this nigga in front of you. You understand? And then they ain't never seen a 6'7" Rodman guard you. Bro, I see you. And you know, you in the scout report. We know you go left. We know you can finish right, but you go left to pull up. Bro, everybody knows. Bro, niggas watching the games back then. The Isaiah Thomases and the Dumars, man. Dumars shut Jordan down. Bro, they was coming to the lane, bro. You might get your nose broke trying to dunk. You understand? Dwayne Wade broke Cole's nose in the All-Star game. Man, bro, it's just different. It was very different back then, bro. Real shit. I'm talking about in the locker room. You can't be on your phone in the locker room. You can't. Bro, 20 years ago? Nah, nobody in this era could have played 25 years ago. We said that. And I'm talking about not just the play and all the skill that everybody got, actually was called bad shots and lack of efficiency. It was until they started fucking with all the data and saying take more threes than twos. Before then, we played ball, bro. We didn't give a fuck about all that other shit. And the GM couldn't come down and say, put into a game plan with a coach like Doc or D'Antoni talking about, we trying to get touches and touch the paint. bro, I didn't see.
Yeah, it's hard to say more skill.
That's what I'm trying to
because
say.
Nobody
bro.
in this era has a mid-range.
You couldn't get nobody.
Nobody in this era has a post game.
And the ones that do look amazing. Look at
Yeah.
Shea. Shea got a mid-range.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's only like a few of them got.
that's what I'm saying, bro. 2 dribble, pull up.
Yeah, they don't
try
got-
to do it. Okay, young fella, if you hear me. And then y'all exhaust the ball. Y'all are dribbling the air out of the ball.
Right.
Y'all dribble the ball 100 times more than another nigga.
Right.
Catch it off the bounce. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pull
Right.
up. Let me see you do that off the bounce.
Right.
Let me see your skill work off that. I ain't even known it like this, but bro, you can't come from niggas and not expect a rebuttal on shit. Bro, real shit, it was totally different. And you had to have that work, and you had to
Yeah.
really work on your shit. And it wasn't no, you was out 2-3 games, man. Your teammates, hey, bro, what you doing tonight? You going? Nah, I can't go, man. My toenail off, man. I can't. Nah, bro, you can't even come in here and lead no niggas like that. You hear me?
Nah.
So you had to strap it up, and you had to get out here. You had to dive on the floor. You had to get in the rumble. Yeah.
Right.
Real shit. You had, man, it was men leading men. Yeah, ain't none of these niggas been in no lockout. And Anthony Edwards don't know what's going on with the league policy. This, bro, you understand what I'm talking about? The leader, bro. Man, I can't even
bro,
have
you
this
can't
conversation.
say this.
'cause
You
it
can't
ain't the
even
same.
say it if you ain't watched.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same.
Like,
then
don't
you say I didn't
that,
watch.
and don't say you didn't
Oh
watch.
man, Jordan the only one has skill. Yeah, I know you didn't watch the game.
I know you
But him
didn't
saying
watch.
that.
Yeah,
So,
you can't say
you
that
know
and
what?
then say you
Respects to
don't
the young
watch.
fella, man. I don't get on here, and we don't use this platform to douse anything. But I'm not gonna start
Yeah,
the
you gotta-
cooning. I'm here to elevate the game. I'm here to help the young players elevate themselves. But
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
always
say.
different eras. And when you hear Michael Jordan and some of the greats talk about the different eras of play, the 80s was different from the 70s, the 70s was different from the 60s, the 60s was different from the 50s. But in all of it, it had gamemanship, it had aggressiveness, and it had stuff that came with it that you didn't really hear about that you hear now. Man, shit.
Yeah.
Half these motherfuckers can't even be in the locker room. Half these niggas coming from no parents and one mom and all, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas got their mom and dad and a lot of these niggas ain't even outside, my nigga. Man, I'm really from the park, man. I'm really am from Basswood. I really did play at Springfield Park. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Cleveland Park, all the parks.
Right.
I really was at Argyle.
Right.
I really was on 16th. I really was hanging out on Ridgeway. Like I'm saying that to say that, yeah. Like, man, it was different times. So when I hear these things, they don't add up because it was a different time in how you played, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a lot of two-way players back then that was real niggas. I'm talking about stars. I'm talking about Gary Payton, the Jason Kidds, the Michael Jordans, the Grant Hills, the McGrady's and the Cobes, you know what I'm saying? The TDs, the C. Webbs, the Rasheeds,
He must have been talking about like the 60s or something.
Lord, he feeling himself, and I like that. I like that he feels good, but when you're a savant and you talking to the league and you spitting different shit, you gotta know what you're talking about.